In spring, I wanted to go somewhere new on the way to my husband's place in Sweden. I took the train to Hamburg and then unfolded my Brompton and headed for Poland, from where I could take a ferry across to Sweden.
So far it had been a bit wet.
I planned the journey would take a week and I'd ride 500 kilometres. I found it super interesting to cycle through the former East Germany. Today I hope to camp at the border with Pomerania, and I did, although as you'll see things didn't quite go as I expected. I had hoped to do the whole trip using one power bank and my solar panel, but the solar panel had not been any use because of the weather, and my power bank was now down to almost zero. So I had stayed in a guest house to recharge. As I rode away, I was feeling thoughtful.
So this is Sunday morning, day 5. It's going really quickly, or I don't know, or is it slow? It's hard to say. I'm in a different world here. It's nice, obviously it's really nice staying in a guest house. But actually I think I honestly prefer the tent. I just love having my own environment. I mean, last night was absolutely fine, but there were, it was Saturday night, there were people kind of talking and laughing really loudly. I couldn't sleep. Of course it's not silent in a tent, but it's different. It's kind of natural noises, so to speak. And I just find that much more peaceful than having people kind of really close around me. So yeah, plus you've got all your stuff. So if you want a cup of tea, you just boil some water and have a cup of tea. And German guest houses, they don't have kettles, or at least that one didn't. So I just thought, oh, sorry, I'll have water. I probably could have asked them, but I didn't. So anyway, gorgeous day. I don't want low now, but it's lucky you just get that here. They just go cross. We're going straight and then next right. Thank goodness. Kind of odd to have horses running wild on the road. Fences down, maybe it's supposed to be in the field, all of them.
I felt bad about it, but I rode on, leaving the horses, and now I was looking for a left turn. So now I had got a cross in my direction, but you never know whether signs like this mean a road is impassable completely, like because a bridge across a river is down or something, which has happened to me, or whether it's just impassable for cars and you can get through if you're on a bike. A diversion can use up a lot of time and energy and sometimes put you on main roads, which you obviously don't want to do. And if you decide to just try it and ride to the blockage and then find you are stuck, you've got to ride back too.
Hallo, darf ich mal fragen? Ich bin unterwegs nach Berlin. Geht das mit dem Fahrrad? Ich habe da gesehen, dass es ein Kreuz gibt auf dem Baustelle. Aber mit dem Fahrrad ist, weiß ich, aha, ja.
Ja, aber heute ist Sonntag, da ist keine Baustelle, da kommen Sie mit dem Fahrrad.
Oh, das ist super. Vielen Dank. Ja. Man weiß ja nie. Ja, vielen Dank. Ja, schönes Wochenende. Ja.
So I hoped for the best and headed down the closed road.
Okay, brilliant. Whew. Good then. I was scared then. I think this should work. Sure, I managed somehow. Really in the right gear. Yes! Yes! Oh, we're in Berlin now. Ah, brilliant.
On the map, Berlin was marked as having a manor house. I had seen quite a few manor houses so far in Mecklenburg, which is known for having been a landscape of big landed estate, kind of National Trust type places everywhere. Most of the manor houses I had seen had been quite small, but Berlin seemed to be on a much grander scale. The owner in the 1600s was an Italian doctor who'd become physician to the Duke of Mecklenburg, and his descendants built this in the 1700s, which is actually just a gatehouse. 200 years later, a businessman from Hamburg bought the estate, and he built this, which is sort of a mini Buckingham Palace.
Gosh, lovely.
And weirdly, I found out that in the 1980s, the communist East German government used this manor house to house 300 Namibian refugee children who were brought up here and trained to be leaders of a hoped-for future Namibian communist state. The Cold War brought such strange changes to people's lives. The children did German school lessons and were taught how to handle rifles.
Not so keen on these cobblestones. It's not very far. Thank goodness. Whew, right. Yes. That was that.
So I was riding into the area called Mecklenburg, Switzerland, which doesn't mean that it's got the Matterhorn or anything, but basically people in the 1800s called areas that they thought were romantically scenic little Switzerlands, and this is one of those. So it would be romantic with a capital R, and I was really looking forward to see it. Actually, first off, it was the motorway that struck me as romantic.
Oh, I just love it when you get signs like that. It's so romantic. I feel like you're travelling long distances, which you are. It's such a nice feeling. If this was Denmark, there would definitely be water. I'm at a church, so let's go and see if in Germany they do have water. I think they will. There are flowers, so people will be watering the flowers, right?
When I'm on a trip like this, water is a thing I have to find along the way. I actually take pretty much all my food for the whole week with me to make it easy and efficient, but of course water I have to pick up as I go along. In each country I have to work out the best way to do this.
Yes! Attack! Brilliant. Quiet. It's just absolutely lovely. I thought these roads might be quite big, you know. This is an orange road, so I interpret that as a B road. It's Sunday, maybe that helps, certainly I imagine that helps. It's just gorgeous. Empty roads, easy navigation, easy hills, just roll up, roll down, lovely weather, smooth road surface. It's just fantastic. Hello.
I came to the town of Teterow, which I thought was lovely. It was developed into a market town by Saxon settlers in early medieval times, and they built a town wall, which I think has gone.
Beautiful.
And town gates, of which 2 are still standing.
Amazing. It's just lovely.
So I passed through the second old town gate and left Teterow heading east.
Wow. Goodbye Teterow. What a brilliant place.
And then I saw this tower, and I rode across a strange kind of blank square, like a housing estate, to go and look at it. And then I found another piece of an old building just across.
Maybe that was the old manor house.
What I discovered later was that these bits were parts of what had been a huge palace of the Duke of Mecklenburg-Strelitz and his Russian wife, who was niece of the Tsar. And it was gigantic. Schumann and Tchaikovsky had performed here and all sorts. But one night in 1940, the palace was burned to the ground, and people said it was a chimney fire, but it was probably an arson attack by local members of the Nazi Party, because the Duke was disliked by the Nazi leadership, and the true cause is impossible to prove. The Duke was actually later arrested by the Gestapo and sent to a concentration camp. I came to the town of Malchin, which was my last town in Mecklenburg before crossing into Pomerania. Apparently, a lot of the town was destroyed in World War II, but the medieval town gates survive and a huge Gothic church.
Wow. Massive. It's actually really warm in the sun. So I'm sitting here in the shade. Oh, so
Malchin is here, and now I would be leaving Mecklenburg and entering the old Duchy of Pomerania. I only had 15-20 kilometres left to do, so I dawdled over the low hills in the evening sun.
smells so sweet.
And now I can see the lake by which I was planning to camp.
Now I can smell the oilseed rape flowers. There are just dozens of these, aren't there? Wow.
I don't like arriving at the place where I'm hoping to camp hungry, because when I'm hungry I don't enjoy myself, and also because I get low on resilience and patience and I rush things and make mistakes. So as usual, I had a bag of nuts as a late afternoon snack. You never know what will happen when you get into the end of the day, and as you'll see today, I was really glad I had topped up on energy.
So this is the campsite. I haven't booked, I haven't written, I'm just hoping it works out.
I checked the seasonal opening dates of all the campsites I was going to use online, and some of them I'd rung or written, but not this one. It was odd that there were no people in all these caravans and no tents. There were just a few dog walkers and people with prams. But I wasn't too worried.
Okay. No tents inside, but I just looked on their website and they have prices for tents. So, question is where to go.
Then I realised why there was no one there.
Oh, so there's water from next week.
There was no water.
Huh. Oh dear. Deserted. I really need water. The shower block is locked. Just look at this. This is not going to work, is it? There's no water. Shit. How to get water here then? Didn't expect that problem. Oh, that's the shower block's all locked up. Just asked some people that are driving over there, and they said there's a hotel up here. So let's see if I can get some water. Absolutely doesn't look promising at all. Yeah. Okay, nothing here.
I wondered if there was maybe an outside tap somewhere. But no, there wasn't.
Basically, hasn't worked. Okay. What should we do? The good thing is it's only 5:30 or something, so yeah.
So I realised I was going to have to camp wild suddenly.
Okay, so I think I'll just drop this whole idea. It's a pity. So I think I'll just carry on and see if I can get some water at a church or something. Nothing for miles. Do you think that's a church? Possibly.
There were no graves and no flowers here, so it was not looking good.
There were no graves, which is kind of worrying.
Suddenly I saw there were people in the garden of this house.
Hello. Hallo there. Hallo, hallo. Entschuldigung, aber darf ich mal bitte ein bisschen Wasser haben? Trinkwasser. Ich hab eine Flasche. Ja, vielen Dank. So, that's 4 litres of water. So that's that problem solved. That really nice young man gave me the water. So now I'm just going to look on the map and see where might be a good kind of area to aim for.
When I camp wild, I don't want to be seen, so I need some cover to hide in.
Super open, completely hopeless. So I'm hoping I can get to that woodland over there. Hope this road goes to that woodland and then I can find somewhere in the woodland. Hopefully. Beautiful evening it is though, I mean, really nice. It couldn't be more open, could it? Completely flat, no cover, hiding underneath oilseed rain, that's not going to be easy. Okay, this looks more promising, doesn't it? Oh. I think I'll have a little look around in here.
It was definitely a good thing I'd had the nuts, so I had enough energy to deal with all of this calmly. I need a big enough clearing to be able to pitch my tent.
Maybe there. That'll be great. What a day.
I usually put my tent up and put my things under cover before I make dinner, but because it was late and I needed to eat, I decided to get the stove on immediately.
Right, so it's going to be pasta with salmon, and I'm going to make it first. I'm going to boil the water, get the pasta cooking, get the salmon soaked, and then put the tent up, so that by the time my tent's up, the dinner will be ready. So that's the salmon. Then we're going to have tea. So that's the water for tea. Good. And here's my tent. I'm going to finish that off now and put everything nicely in. And I can sit and enjoy the evening meal. Oops. So, tent looks great. I've gone kind of belt and braces with the bike, locked and covered it so that I'm not going to start to worry about it in the night. So I'm actually going to sit inside. Yeah, sit inside. So I'm actually going to sit inside. Keep out the way, and there are quite a lot of ants, so I want to keep them out of the tent. Oh, it's going to be sunset. Oh, really hot. The thing is, I need to kind of not wear orange when I'm here, so I put my down jacket on. Really hot. Anyway, brilliant. And dinner's ready. Ah. Feels so nice to take off my shoes. End of the day. It looks good actually.